How's it going, everyone? And welcome to PFP Media. It's a beautiful sunny day in Dublin, very rare in February, and I am absolutely loving it. Today, we're talking Arsenal and manager Mikel Arteta. Now, one thing is for sure, since Arteta took charge at Arsenal, replacing Unai Emery in December 2019, he has made Arsenal far more organised than they ever were under Emery and far more difficult to break down and to beat. Arsenal had decent league form in the second half of last season under Arteta. They improved most notably on the road and in big games and capped the season with a magnificent FA Cup triumph over Chelsea, beating Manchester City in the semi-finals along the way. And then, of course, beating league champions Liverpool in the Community Shield just a few weeks later. And that end of season form no doubt gave Arteta a safety net with the board. Indeed, he survived Arsenal's worst run of form in half a century from October to December 2020, with the club languishing in 15th place on Christmas Day. Unprecedentedly poor for the Gunners. But with that form, the good form, at the second half of last season and the FA Cup and Community Shield wins, came expectations from the fans. And despite a run of decent results recently enough after Christmas, this season has not gone to plan at all. And our Arsenal find themselves in 11th place in the league with just one league win in their last 5 games. They're out of the FA Cup with a tepid display away to Southampton recently, and the Europa League future is hanging in the balance as well, following a wasteful 1-1 draw with Benfica. The big question then is not, will Arteta be in charge next season, but does he deserve to be? And there's probably a case both sides. He's not getting the best out of his senior players. One thing is for sure is that Arteta bet big on experience coming through. Aubameyang was rewarded with a bumper new contract following his dazzling display in the FA Cup. That was I think most Arsenal fans would agree, was a contract that they had to tie down. And of course, the club brought in Willian from Chelsea on a free transfer for a contract in the region of £250,000 a week, lasting for 3 years. And it's fair to say that those two players in particular, and as well Alexandre Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe and Hector Bellerin, have not been performing to the required level. Willian has yet to register a goal in any competition in over 20 appearances, and Aubameyang has just 8 league goals so far this season in 21 games, I believe, and 5 of those goals have come in his last 5 league games. It's a stark contrast with his form, not only for Arsenal over the past 3 years, but the form that he showed so frequently for Borussia Dortmund, which made him one of Europe's most feared and revered centre forwards. A lot has been said about Arteta not having the squad that he wants, and a big issue was having senior players on high wages who weren't playing games. And most notably, we can look at Mesut Ozil, Socrates, Shkodran Mustafi, and Sead Kolasinac. Now, those players should have all been moved on last summer. They weren't, and of course, Arsenal's early season form was catastrophic. When Arsenal started the process of moving these players on in January of this year, their form improved. Of course, those players have all departed. Ozil, Socrates and Mustafi permanently on free transfers, and Kolasinac on loan. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Joe Willock went out on loan as well. And the thought was that now, with these players gone, these influencers in the dressing room who weren't playing games, who were undoubtedly unhappy, that the squad will be much more harmonious. And this seemed to be the case in January. However, Arsenal's form has dipped once again, and it's now looking like this might not have been such a big issue after all. One thing is for sure with Arteta, and that is that he has improved players, most notably Granit Xhaka, whose form was patchy to say the least under Unai Emery. Fantastic at the back end of last season, a huge reason why Arsenal managed to win the FA Cup. His form was excellent in that competition. His form was indifferent at the start of this season. However, following his red card against Burnley in a 1-0 home defeat, Xhaka has come back into the team and he's improved to no end. And two young players who have, of course, impressed have been Emile Smith-Rowe, but more notably Bukayo Saka, who seems to be Arsenal's best player and is playing 90 minutes week in, week out in every single competition, which is a little worrying because he's not exactly he's not the most athletic type. He's not a big, strong, physically imposing guy, and for a young player with a light frame to be playing so many minutes is a little bit concerning. But he just looks Arsenal's best player, so I suppose that's why he's playing so frequently. Now, what were the expectations for Arsenal at the start of this season? It goes without saying that expectations at the Emirates Stadium have been lowered pretty much year on year since the Invincibles in 2004. But a season without any European football, not even Europa League football, is unthinkable for Arsenal. But that is what they are looking at this season. And surely the bare minimum was to finish in the Europa League places, or failing that, to win the FA Cup or the Europa League. Arsenal are now 11th in the league. They have a tough run of games coming up, and it would not be a surprise to see them finish between 8th and 12th. And should that happen, should Arsenal's senior players continue to flatter to deceive, and should Arsenal fail to compete in the Europa League, then this season will have been a catastrophe. Mikel Arteta is well liked. He comes across extremely well in his press conferences, and he has proven that he can make Arsenal competitive, and he has developed some exciting talents in Saka and Smith-Rowe. But at the end of the day, this is a results business. Arsenal do not have the financial power to afford to miss out on European football, and should that come to pass at the end of this season, then surely the club won't have any option to relieve Mikel Arteta from his duties. These are a massive couple of months for both Arteta and Arsenal Football Club. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget, as always, to smash a like on the video, to share the content around, and to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll be back with a podcast early next week, and I'll be back with another feature piece mid to late next week. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.